Hello everyone, I'm Amy. I am from Peak Physiology. This little video here is just to explain to you a little about the Pilates basics so that when you're doing my videos you have an understanding of what I'm talking about and it's not all different language for you. So I am going to go through a few different things on what you should be doing throughout the Pilates workout and focusing on throughout. So first of all, I'm going to take you through some spinal positions to start off with. So first of all, with our Pilates, there's two different spinal positions. There's neutral and there's imprinted. So a neutral spine is when you're lying down on your mat, on your back, with your knees bent is a good way to start off. And neutral spine is when you have a natural arch underneath your lower back and your tailbone is down. So here we're lying, we're in a neutral spine, we're not tucking our pelvis under or too far away where we're arching through the spine. It's just a natural arch. A good way to find that is if you place your hands into a triangle and then place your fingertips on your pubic bone and then the palms of your hands just on your hips, and then you'll see that your hands are parallel to the floor, so they're not coming up or down. That's how you know you're in a neutral spine. So keeping the hands there when it comes to an imprinted spine is when we bring our legs up into a 90-degree angle. So for an imprinted spine, you want to draw the abdominals down towards the mat, and you'll notice that your fingertips are now higher than your thumbs. All right, that's where you need to be with an imprinted spine, because then we bring our legs up into a tabletop position. So an imprinted spine is when we're in tabletop. So that's that feeling that you've got now. And then a neutral spine is when we've got our feet down. So with the going back to the imprinted spine and tabletop position, you want to make sure that your legs are at 90 degrees. So you're not too far forward because then your tailbone will come up, and then you're not too far back because then you'll really arch from the back and then it can cause a little bit of damage. So you just want to make sure that the knees are in line with the hips, and then the knees are also in line with the feet. So you've got that 90 degrees. All right, so that's when I say in my videos where it's imprinted or it's neutral, that's what I'm talking about with that. All right, so then you've got your T-zone. A lot of, depending on where you go with Pilates, some people might call it a powerhouse or things like that, but I really like to refer to it as a T-zone from how I've been taught. So our T-zone is our transversus abdominal and pelvic floor. And we call it the T-zone because it's just easier than saying that. And it's drawing an imaginary T on the front of your pelvis. So a lot of Pilates, we work through the pelvic floor, and that's what a lot of it's about. So when you want to find your T-zone, and what I'm talking about is the transversus abdominals is a horizontal line from one hip bone to the other. So they're all just these muscles in our abdominal area that we need to focus on. So that is the horizontal line. And then I want you to draw an imaginary line from, so a vertical line from the pubic bone coming up to form the T. So that is our T-zone. So to try and activate your T-zone, it's okay if you're new to this and you don't know what I'm talking about or even what you're doing. It does come with practice. So Pilates is a practice, everything about it is a practice, and it can take a couple of weeks or a couple of times to just try and get your head around everything. So to find your T-zone, I want you to lie down. Place your fingertips on the inside of your hip bones, okay? So right here is where our fingertips need to be, and you're going to try and activate the muscles where you feel underneath your fingertips move or activate and the muscles move underneath. So to do that, I want you to draw an imaginary line up that vertical line, and it's kind of like the feeling where you're trying to stop yourself from going to the toilet. So you're really trying to press up through the pelvic floor. You're not squeezing through the buttocks. It's a nice gentle movement, and it does come with practice. So I want you to just take a deep breath in and draw up through that vertical line. Then once you've done that, I want you to then imagine the hip bones coming towards each other along that horizontal line. So you're drawing up the vertical line and then across the horizontal line. Just on the inside. It's okay if you can't feel the activation, but I want you to just try and practice that. And then once you've got those two, you need to flatten the T down towards the spine. So then it comes into it, it all comes together with drawing up, across, and in. All right, so then just take a deep breath and try and practice doing that. It's about just being aware and knowing that that's what you will eventually need to get to, or you will work towards. And if you haven't done it before, or you haven't activated your T-zone before, it's really just, it's good to be aware of your pelvic floor. All right, so that is our T-zone. Now our breathing, when we breathe in through in Pilates, you breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. So our breathing is really important. It does come into all of our movements. So we do breathe a lot. I do say a lot of inhaling and exhaling, and that's because when you're exhaling, it's the safest way to keep your spine. It also helps you draw your ribs down towards the hips, so you're not flaring, you're not tucking under, you're not arching the spine or anything like that. So our breathing is, place your hands on the side of your rib cage. Now we want to breathe in through the lungs, so we're not breathing in through the belly, we're breathing in through the lungs, and that way, if we're breathing in through the belly, we're going to lose our activation of our core and everything going on there, which is the main priority of what we need to be doing to keep ourselves safe throughout the workout. So place your hands on the side of your rib cage, breathe in. And as you breathe in, you want to feel your hands laterally expand out. So you're really feeling your chest open up and you're laterally expanding out. All right, so that's the movement we need to get with the breath in. And then on the breath out, you want to really draw the ribs down towards the hips. So you're breathing in, breathe out through the nose, draw the ribs down towards the hips, kind of like you've got a funnel in your belly or in your chest, and it's drawing all the way down, drawing the ribs down and releasing all the air. All right, so breathe in, hands by your side on your rib cage, laterally expand out, and then breathe out, draw the ribs down towards the hips, release all the air, feel all the air come out. All right, so that's what the breathing is involved throughout Pilates. And the breathing is, I don't want to overwhelm you with it all, because there is a lot you've got to remember to put your T-zone, turn your T-zone on, do some breathing, do the leg movements with it, and then activate all the muscles as you do it. As I said, it is a practice, and I don't want it to overwhelm you, but the breathing is really, really important with the exercises. As you learn and you go on through Pilates, you'll understand, and you'll get an understanding of why it's important, because it helps you do the movements. It helps you come up if you're curling up, or it helps protect your spine. So that's a little bit of our basics. So if you are doing my videos, now you have a little bit of an understanding on what you need to be doing throughout the workout. And when I say T-zone, you know what that means, breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth, and having an understanding on why we do all of that. So if you do have any questions about this, email me at info@peakphysiology.com.au. But yeah, enjoy my videos.